Good morning. Welcome to our Friday morning training. I'm going to make today's training kind of short and sweet, especially with this time of the year. I don't want to take up a ton of your guys' time because obviously it is the holidays and people have a lot going on. But what I do want to talk to you about today is a little bit about mindset. Because moving into the new year, we really need to focus on mindset, goals, kind of what we are looking to achieve. And I think it's a really good time to reflect on that. So, as we grow into the new year, this is a time where I really get laser focused on what my intentions are. When we don't have any intentions and we don't know where we're going, it is hard to know what we are working for. And we hear this all the time. We hear in this industry, people talk about you have to know your why, and your why should make you cry. And sometimes people don't really know what that means. But when you really sit down and think about, like, why do you need this business? What makes you get up and do this business every single day? What makes you want to strive for greatness? What is it that paycheck is going to do for you? Maybe it's not the paycheck. Maybe it's the community. Maybe you need a solid group of people in your life that are cheering for you, that are positive, that make you feel like somebody, and they make you feel seen, whatever that looks like for you. But you have to have a reason as to why you wake up every day, to do this business. What makes you want to get up and do this business? What makes you want to be a part of the community? And why do you continue to do it? And I think that is a really big reason. And you have to know what that reason is. Otherwise, you don't have a reason to get up every day. You don't have a reason, and not to get up, but like to get up and actually want to be a part of the community, actually want to send the messages, want to do the interactions, want to do one more post about Thrive, want to, do one more live unboxing, whatever that is. If you don't have a reason for why you are doing these things, you gotta go potty. Okay, go ahead. You need help? I'm so sorry, Kate. I gotta duty calls really quick. Okay, so obviously, with that being said, you have to have a reason as to why you want to do this business and why it's important to you. So every single time around this year, I really try to regain focus. I mean, of course, for me, my kids are my why. It is so that I don't have to work 50 hours at the salon anymore, killing myself, working all the time, because my Thrive is helping to supplement my income, where I used to have to be behind the chair working all the time. And yes, does that mean that I have to work this business at home and that I am on my phone at times throughout the day? Absolutely. But I would rather be on my phone and still with my kids and here present, working a little here and there, rather than being away and being at the salon for 10 to 12-hour days like I used to be. So again, it's all a matter of perspective and what is important for you and what you need to do. Here, do you want a notebook?
So
Here.
the
Here's a notebook for you.
Yep.
There you go. You can put it on the bench in color if you want. But the thing is that you have to decide like what those trade-offs are for you and what makes sense for you. And so for me, it makes sense to pour into my business every day, and so that I can be home away from the salon more and be home with my kids more. And what that looked like for me too was starting to wake up early, which a lot of us have all done. That's kind of where Power Mornings were birthed. Last year, we all started getting up and working our businesses at 5:45 a.m. So even the ones that had to work at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, we were still getting up and working our businesses before we even went to work. And those are the things that you have to decide what is important for you. And if you have slipped back, this is the time of the year to just really reevaluate and really see what you want and where you're going. Because if you don't have a direct idea or a direct path, you have no reason for why you want to do this. And then when it gets hard, it's that easy to just quit. So you really need to think about, like, is it debt that you want to pay off? Are you striving for a certain thing? Do you have a certain goal? Not everybody hates their job. So maybe it's not to leave your job, but maybe it's like you want to be able to do all the things that you want to do in the summer because maybe you go camping a lot, or maybe you have a cabin, or whatever that looks like for you. But there's always extra things that we want, and we know that this business can provide those extras for us if we really want it. And so what I always like to think about, for me personally, I am driven by money. I'm just going to be completely honest. Money is what makes the world go around. And that's how we pay our bills, and that's how we get to do extra things. And so for me, I am driven by that. So with this bonus right now, that is a big deal to me. And I guess this is where I want to bring in mindset is we have to really ask ourselves, what we're telling ourselves when these things with Laval come out, because I want to get you guys in the right mindset right now, because this is just the beginning. They are very, very, very intentional with what they do with us. So for example, they just launched VIP reset, which is huge. This gives us a whole nother opportunity. If you didn't hit your VIP bonuses the first time, to have a second opportunity to do it. But it's not just that. It's not just the money. It's also bringing in promoters and helping them grow a business, because whatever this new product is, or new sector, or new launch, whatever is coming, I actually had dreams about it last night. Call me corny, but I was just like, I don't know. It was like, I think I got a beta box or something. I don't know. And it was like this really big rave, and people were so excited. And so regardless, I'm just going to continue to manifest that. And again, it's all about what we think about in our mind and what we start to imagine. Because if you have VIP reset launch and you think, well, I can't get any promoters. Well, I can't, like, how am I going to do that? I didn't do it the first time. So how am I going to do it this time? If you get into that mindset, sure, the evidence might provide that you did not hit it the first time. The cold, hard truth. Okay, that's okay. That was the first time. Maybe you need to look for evidence of why that didn't happen. Maybe you didn't try. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know how to do the business. Maybe you didn't really know what it was to be a promoter. Or maybe at that point in your time, you're like, I want to be a promoter, but I'm okay with growing slower, and I'm not really into going after these bonuses. Neither are wrong, but that was then and this is now. So you can't live in that same reality if things have changed since then, because
This was the biggest hiccup in my business when I first got started. I don't know why, but I had never done sales for one. And at the end of the day, you guys, this is sales. Like, however you want to slice it, you can say all day long that you don't like to sell products or you're not a salesperson or whatever. But if you're going to be in this business, you have to get over that mindset, because at the end of the day, we technically are selling something. There is an exchange of goods. We give a website, they enter a credit card, they make a purchase. That is sales. And it doesn't have to be cringy though. And that's where it's like, we're not the ones slipping into DMs and just like pitching sales when you have no idea if somebody even wanted that. For example, Kate, when you got the message the other day saying, oh, I got this new product and X, Y, and Z, and it turns fiber into or fat into fiber, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But at no point did you express to her that you wanted to lose weight or that you were looking to burn fat. And that's where that message becomes cringe, because you didn't even express interest. Now, sending somebody a message who is expressing on social media that they are looking for a solution for something, that is okay to message them. And then you just send that message. I don't know if this is for you or not, but I saw your status and I just wanted to message you and let you know X, Y, and Z that I have this. That is something completely different. But for somebody that is showing zero interest in something, then that's when it's cringe. But that's where we get this mantra in our head about that sales is cringe and we're not salespeople and we don't want to do that. Well, you don't have to be that salesperson. There is a huge, huge difference between the two. So that is where we have to work on that mindset. But at the end of the day, like, we are literally in sales. And I used to be like, I don't want to bring in a promoter because like, then I'm going to have to ask them to sell. And what if they don't want to sell and all this stuff? So I had to work on that. And for one, just like a customer, I can't prejudge what they're willing to spend because I can't be in their wallet. I don't know what a person's budget is. I don't know what they've potentially spent on products prior. Because if you've ever done like Isagenix, Optavia, any of these other companies, they are actually way more expensive than Thrive. And it turns out, you guys, that a lot of people have done a lot of different products. So I had to learn that I can't be in people's wallets. I have to allow them to make the decision if they can afford our products or not. So with that being said, I also had to realize that I can't decide if somebody wants to come on as a customer or promoter because I have no idea what they need in their life. Somebody that might look like they have their crap completely together on social media might be swimming in $40,000 to $80,000 of credit card debt, and they're looking for a way to get out of it. And we don't know that. So what I learned to say, and then this isn't as scary, is I learned to say, I had somebody reach out to me the other day. She was an old salon rep. I will be honest, now she is currently ghosting me, which is really annoying, but it happens. Maybe she got busy. But she commented on my story about my sale. And she just gave 2 thumbs up though. So I was a little nervous. I was like, I don't know, like, was this by accident? But I was like, it was 2 thumbs up. I don't know that you can do 2 thumbs up on accident. So I literally sent her a message and I just said, hey, I seen that you commented on my sale. Are you interested in Thrive? And I was just like, let's just cut to the point because that's what this was about. So she said, yes, I am. I have some friends that do it and I seen your sale and I would like to know like what the prices are and X, Y, and Z. And so I immediately just wanted to give her the customer sale because it was the cheaper of the two. But I had to stop myself and decide that I can't decide for her what's best for her. So and she is in sales. She, was a rep for all of our salon stuff. I went and creeped her page. Now she's actually working at a mattress place. She's still in sales. So I then sent her, I said, there is no difference between a customer and a promoter. The only difference is that promoters get paid. here are my two sales. This is the customer sale, X, Y, and Z, and this is the promoter sale, X, Y, and Z. And I put it in her ballpark to decide. And so we have to get into a habit when somebody comes to us interested, we have to give them both options. And that is how it's going to make less drama around bringing in a promoter. Because moving into the new year, the thing that I want our team to get a little bit more laser focused on is truly recruiting. Because if we are truly wanting to grow businesses, having other people underneath us doing the same things that we are doing is how our business is going to grow faster. Yes, customers are awesome. Customers are wonderful. And, we do get paid higher commissions on customers if we're going to break it down to, the nuts and bolts. But if you have a promoter that comes in and she ends up becoming a 4K or a 12K, well, now you have that much more volume underneath of you. I don't really think that 20% on $160 really matters anymore. How we are going to grow bigger businesses is by promoting or by bringing in promoters. And so we have to really switch our mindsets and get into a place of where we are recruiting, where we are always offering people when they come to us, are you interested in signing up as a customer or a promoter? The only difference is that promoters get paid what is best for you. Because if we can bring in more promoters into our businesses, we are going to be able to help them hit VIPs, and we are going to be able to help them to grow their businesses forward. So while I am in Florida, I am going to really work on, now that I have a team page, because in the past I did not have a team page. I am going to work on really, I used to have like all these training videos for our team in YouTube, and truly there are things that I do differently now. I don't do a hundreds list. I don't want our team coming in and messaging 100 people. Like, it's gross. I don't do that anymore. That's how we were originally trained. But there are tweaks of how I have found my rhythm and my groove of how I want, our team to operate. Obviously, at the end of the day, you guys are in charge of your own businesses. But I think for the most part, like, we're all on the same page. And so I am going to work on recording new videos when I'm in Florida. Fresh new videos. Truthfully, I'm a lot more confident than I even was a couple years ago when I did those videos. And so I'm going to bring that. And I really want to focus on this year being able to have a system in place for onboarding for our team. Because in the past, that's always been a huge issue. But if we all are on the same page and we're all on the same, mindset of, giving people the opportunity to come on as a promoter or a customer, and then really feeling confident in how to onboard somebody, even if you're a busy person, because this business really should be on autopilot. We should have a system in place. When somebody comes on, we're like, okay, this is where we add them to the team page. This is where we tag them in the first video to get started. And then in that video is going to tell them how to go through the rest of the onboarding process. And it will then be a fluidly running machine that will then take them through the rest. And then we'll follow up and see how they did on that, because then that's also going to show us who is committed to this business and who actually wants to work it. Because I will have things that will say stuff like, okay, after you've watched this video, I need you to reach out to your promoter and tell them, what your goals are or whatever. And we will kind of have this step-by-step thing that will kind of it'll be a system that will run, and then they will also be reaching out to you. That doesn't mean that we're going to leave our promoter to the woods and never reach out to them again. But this is going to help us. And it's also going to be able to show people where we're actually at in this business and if they really want it, right? Because if they truly want it, they're going to go through the guide section and they're going to complete these videos. I'm going to try to make them very bite-sized 7 to 10 minute videos so that it's very obtainable for people to get in. I know I can talk a lot and I can train for hours, but I will try to make them very bite-sized to keep the thing flowing, especially in that first 14 days. Because if you can really get somebody to get those VIP resets, then that is really going to give them the confidence, and they're already going to have a team starting to build. They're going to be thriving for free. And from there, you guys, they're in like Flint. That's why it's so important, because once a person is thriving for free, I don't even think they have to even get a paycheck yet. If they get those free credits, they realize that this company is real and that it's not BS. And so we need to be the ones to help them to do that. That's where we need to be like, we need to be a little bit more aggressive with our newer people coming in. Maybe if we have codes, if we have credits, we maybe need to give $30, $40, $50 off on those first 2 customers to really just get them in and show them what's possible. And you guys, it will definitely like ripple a lot faster if you can get them doing that right away when they're excited, especially if they're like a day one thriver, right? Because they're like ignorance on fire and they're excited. And so we got to get them when they're like so excited. But if we are all on this same mindset of that, you guys, it makes the momentum in our team so much bigger. And that's the bigger picture. That is what Lovell is setting us up right now for. You have to be in your mind. Jess and I, when that launched, we messaged each other and we're like, we're getting this bonus. We've always been accountability partners through this business. Jess got the first customer. She sends it to me and then she only says, tag, ... like, you're up. And it's like, and she ain't playing. She's like, no, you best get a customer. Like, and the thing is that I had to go into this, like, I'm not going to go into this being like, I've been here for almost 8 years and how am I going to hit a VIP reset again? Because like, you know, my warm market is, you know, like it's dead or whatever we tell ourselves. Well, if we tell ourselves that, absolutely, you're not going to hit it. So that's why we have to really focus on our mindset at this time of the year and tell ourselves like, yeah, we are going to do it and I can do it. And remembering that if you struggle with enrolling promoters, the other thing you can tell yourself is that promoters don't ever have to be on auto ship, but will always get auto ship pricing. And so that's another thing you can tell people. If you have fear around the whole promoter, like verbiage, then you can just get into a habit of telling people like, or if you don't ever want to be on auto ship, but you want auto ship pricing, this is another option. But you just also need to know that there are commissions and bonuses available. So it's up to you how you want to start, but there is no difference. And let them decide. Let them decide how they want to enroll. And I think if we get into a better habit of doing that, because so many of us never thought we were going to promote until we did. And then we got excited, and then we got around the fire, and then we got around the community. And then from there, everything else is snowballed. I would have never thought that Holly Zarnke this year would have been one of my promoters. She was so shy. She was so quiet. She was so reserved. And these products got in her body and everything changed. And then it was like, okay, let's go. And I didn't know her situation. I didn't know that she just walked through a divorce. I didn't know any of that. So she had this whole other reason of why this business could help her that I had no idea about. So again, this is where we can't prejudge people and we have to just go into it giving people the option, because you never know who could be your next promoter and just get so excited and need this community so bad, and maybe the extra income as well and all of that. So with that being said, the other thing is that Lovell definitely launched Reset because they want us bringing in new promoters and new legs of business because of whatever is coming. And they are very, very, very intentional of how they do things. And this is their way of setting us up for success, bringing in these new promoters and then having this big thing launch. And now you got these fresh new promoters in your business that are already excited about Thrive. And now this whole other sector is going to come on top of it. And the other thing is that this is just a preview of what's coming, because every single year in January, they always launch some kind of promotion of some sort, especially with how big they're going to do New Orleans this year for Thrive Palooza. They're already hyping that up so much. I guarantee you there is something huge that's going to be coming in January. Whatever it is, it's going to be huge. So you have to start getting excited about this VIP bonus and running like hell for this, because whatever is coming in January, if you have big goals, you are going to want to be running like hell for that. So I want in these next couple of weeks, I know it's the holidays, I know it's Christmas, I know New Year's is coming, but you guys, this is the end of the year. This is the time where you need to really take time to reflect on your year, reflect on yourself, reflect on your business, and ask yourself the hard questions of, am I really where I want to be? Am I really putting in as much work as I want to be putting in to get to where I want to be going? And maybe you are. This is not a shame conversation. This is simply just an evaluation conversation, because every single year at this time, I'm always self-evaluating. And a lot of times I'm too hard on myself. But what if you evaluate and think, gosh, I've actually come so far from where I was. I had that conversation with Rock last night, we had a date night, and I was thinking back to right after I had gotten cancer, we had taken the kids to Disney World, and then we went to an Airbnb in Cape Coral, which was like started the birth of us getting our Florida house. And we were there for like 9 days. That was when I first recorded the first like training videos. That's when I made the decision, like, I am changing this community. I am building a community. I'm going to start doing my own thing. I'm going to start doing trainings. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it scared. And it was during that time that I was like, that's it. Like, I'm doing this. I'm building my own community, and I got to figure it out. And that was 2 years ago, you guys. And almost to the date, just a couple weeks away from 2 years ago. And sometimes I'm hard on myself and I'm not where I want to be. But I think back to that when I recorded that first video, and I still have it on my YouTube. I was not nearly as confident. I was so nervous in that video. And that's the thing, you guys, it's not always all negative. I think about when I look back at that, I'm like, gosh, I've come so far. But imagine where I'll be at this time next year. I'm going to be even further yet. But you have to have those goals in place to know where you're headed in order to get there. And so this is the perfect time of the year for you guys to really reflect, journal, think about your goals, make a vision board, and really get laser focused about how you want next year to look. What are your goals? How could this business help you? Like, maybe there's something that you could do a little bit better. For me, I know it's truly consistency. And I hate that word, but it is. Like, I get so busy and I'm going from the salon to a day off, to the salon to a day off. And so it's like, then I get in this Thrive rhythm and then I get out of it. Part of it is I need to be better about planning my week on Sundays. Again, that's why after the 90-day run, I plan to continue the Sunday Zooms, so that, it'll hold me accountable to plan my week, but then maybe I'll be more organized and more consistent. And so again, thinking about those things that maybe where you feel like you're struggling or falling a little short, and then just making a little bit of a shift. Sometimes it's not even that big of a deal. It is just this small little change. If you just change just a couple little things, it'll move the needle and everything will start to shift. So this is a time where I am really sitting back and reflecting on all these different things and thinking about where I personally can improve in my business and how I'm going to make things better into the new year, because I want to be sitting next year at this time, finally back at 80K and possibly even on my way to 200K, because I got so laser focused on my daily DMOs. I got consistent. I have all the tools. I know how to do all the things, but I just finally started doing them even more consistently every single day. And those are the things that I'm thinking about and focusing on, and just really thinking and manifesting about whatever is coming in January, we know is going to be so incredibly huge. And I'm not missing the boat. I am not going to be sitting back hoping and wishing. I am going to just be all out, all in, aggressive, and hopefully already, to 80K by the time Thrivepalooza comes, because that's my goal. And you have to think about your goals and what you want and where you're headed, because Jess and I, she just dropped in the comments, we've had a conversation in this last week, because her and I always do a lot of reflecting this time of the year, and we start to get in this bad bitch energy. And that is where we're at right now. And we are like, either you're coming with us or you're getting left behind. And I say that in the most respectful way. I am just saying, like, we are not slowing down. So either you're gonna come with us and enjoy the ride and get encouraged and pushed. Otherwise, like, that's fine, but we are moving forward. And we just know that there is just too much on the line with this business, and there's just so much opportunity that we're not willing to miss, but we're also willing to look in the mirror and recognize that we are not doing everything we could be doing. Because I mean, you have to be humble enough to know that nobody is ever doing all the things. Like, there's always things we can be improving on and shifting. And so her and I are just like, I'm sick of our shit. Like, I want to be further along in my business, and I need to do the things I need to do to get there. And we're just going to be running on a different energy. And last year, you guys, we, at the beginning of the year when Rank Advancements launched, we had 16 rank advancements total in our team from January to April. That is huge. So we need to get into that same momentum. And we did it last year. We're going to do it again this year, but let's double that number this year. Let's make that 32 rank advancements. It's possible, but you have to start telling yourself it's possible right now, or it's not going to happen. If you say you're not going to get the VIP bonus, you're not going to get it. Simply put, you've already given your brain evidence that it's not going to work out for you. So you have to be telling yourself every day, I am growing a team. I am grabbing this bonus. I'm putting the work in to do it. I'm sending one more follow-up message. Even if this person's ghosted me 4 times, I'm just going to send a voice message this time and say, I'm not trying to be a pest, but you reached out and said you were interested. So I'm just following up one more time to see if you're ready. And that is what you have to do in this business if you want to grow. We can't just sit back and be worried about somebody thinking you're annoying, especially if they were the one that reached out to you. If they were the one that showed interest, you're not being annoying. You're doing your job. You're just following up because you were the one that said you were interested. So again, you guys, if your mindset is struggling, just really work on these next couple of weeks, getting yourself into a good mental focus, writing out goals, thinking about what your why is, and really just pushing forward towards what you want in life, so that in January, when January rolls around, that you are ready for whatever is coming and your mind is in the right place. So with that, like I said, I wanted to keep this a little short today because I know everybody is busy. It's a busy time of the year, and I really would rather you guys, if nothing else, take 15 minutes to reflect on your life and where you want to be and where you're going. And that's going to be more important than listening to me ramble on for another 15 minutes. So
Can
just
I
if you
add
have
something?
Yep, go ahead.
I'm almost to work and I just wanted to add something. Just my tidbit, as I almost smoked a deer, but had to scream at it first. I would never expect my upline to dampen their goals or slow their stride for me. So you guys can't be that way with people that you bring in either. Help them, but you always hear us say, love them where they're at, help them where they're at, and that's fine. But if you have to switch your pace and slow your own goals, that's not the point. You need to keep going and just let them run where they're gonna run. And for me, I know that's hard because I want everybody to fucking run as fast as I do, but they aren't going to. So the point is, you can help. And this is a reminder to myself because I get in that mode where I'm like, oh, all right, I'll do all the extra things. And I know it's slowing me down to some degree, but I need to figure out how to work on helping them while keeping my own pace because we all have different goals. We all live a different life. This means something different to each of us. But with that being said, I would never expect Heather to slow down because my goals are different. Obviously, hers and I are, they're the same. But when people come into this business and they're not quite as hyped up as you, get them there. And if they don't get there, then respect them where they're at, but don't feel like you need to slow down. And that's been my biggest downfall because I lead with my heart too much sometimes. And I'm like, oh, they need extra grace. And then I just end up regretting it, which sounds bad, but it's the truth.
Mhm.
So just keep your own pace and let people run their own lap. Just don't forget that you can go your own speed and not feel bad about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that, Jess. And one more thing I'd like to add to this, and it might sound offensive, but I do say it with all the love and respect. But the other thing that we can't do is sometimes we'll reach out and we'll want to help people and they just aren't willing to do the work. And so that's fine, but we can't continually try to drag them either. And so often we spend a lot of our energy just trying to drag people back or trying to encourage them to come back. And again, like Jess said, we can love them where they're at. But when you're spending so much energy on that, you're I'm just gonna say it how Jess says it. Jess always says, let the dead lie, and I say that the most respectful way possible. But the point is that we have to not only focus on that one person that maybe isn't really doing anything. And this isn't just promoters, this is customers as well. Sometimes our customers are the biggest pain in the butts, and we're trying to always get them to reorder or we're whatever. And it's like, okay, like if we gotta beg them, then just leave them. They'll come back around. And so we have to also get into a point to where we're always building. We're never done building in this business. It's an always ongoing building thing. It's not a rebuilding. It's not like, oh, well, I got to get new customers because I lost my other two, thriving for free people. It's like, no, we always just need to be bringing in people all the time so that we're not in a position where, we're stuck because we were so reliant on just these two people or just this one promoter or whatever. And so I think that sometimes I have to give you guys permission to we want to love everybody, and we have such a solid team and community of integrity and love for each other. But at the same token, sometimes like people just aren't ready, or they just, I don't know, they're just inconsistent, and maybe they're not taking their Thrive right. So that's why they don't see the value like we do, but they also don't want to listen. But we can't control that. And so I think we have to understand that we can't control what everybody does all the time. And as much as we want it so bad for people, sometimes we have to like let that go because it's actually holding us back, and it's draining our energy. And I think that's also what Jess is really referring to, is that sometimes that drains our energy so much and brings us down. And as much as we want the best for everybody, you know, sometimes we just can't do it for them. So we always love people where they're at, but also it's okay to stay moving forward and focus on your goals and do what you need to do to run your business and to, you know, have the most success yourself too. So with that though, I'm for real going to get going this time, but it's going to be great, you guys. I just really want to move into the new year with a really great energy and an awesome momentum. And again, just continue to grow this community, grow our mindsets, bring our businesses forward, and trying to provide systems for us that are going to make this business run as fluidly as possible, so that even when you're busy and you are working your 9 to 5, and somebody enrolls, you can plug them into the system and it's going to just go, and we're going to have this well-oiled machine that's very duplicatable. So that's what I'm going to be working on in these next few weeks, to just really try to get this thing running as smoothly as possible, so that we feel really confident when we're bringing new people into our team and into our business. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here the whole time, Kate. I appreciate you so much. And I hope that you have an awesome Friday, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.